emergencies, Kat was stuck in the house with Naska, the Bulgarian student who lived with them. Naska was one of the loveliest people Kat had ever met. But the Bulgarian girl studied every moment she wasn't sleeping and slept every moment she wasn't studying. Tonight was an exception. Naska's sister, who worked in North London, had been rushed to A&E with appendicitis. Since Dr. Wolfe had already messaged to say she was leaving work shortly, Kat had insisted Naska go to the hospital at once. Her mum would be home any minute, and she'd be fine on her own till then. As Naska headed out of the door, Kat's phone pinged again. Dr. Wolfe was running late. Kat waved Naska goodbye without mentioning it. That had been nearly 3 hours ago. Now it was 1:30 a.m. Kat wasn't worried about being alone. The doors were locked, and she knew her mum would be home as soon as she'd finished dealing with whatever emergency had held her up. But the silent house did make Kat yearn, yet again, for a pet of her own, a dog to guard her and keep her company, or a cat she could snuggle up to. Ironically, considering her mum spent every waking hour with animals, that wasn't possible. They lived in a rented house with no outside space on a busy road in London. If I can ever find a spare hour to hunt for another job, if we can ever afford a place of our own with a garden, and if we ever have the time to devote to it, I'll get you the cat, dog, pony, hamster of your dreams, her mum was always saying. Kat was not a girl much given to scowling, but she scowled now. If. These days, it was her mother's favourite word. With Naska gone, she'd lain on the sofa rereading her favourite horse novel. But even that had annoyed her, because it had only reminded her how badly she wanted to be around living, breathing horses, and not just ones in books. Reading also made her feel guilty. She'd promised her mum she'd make a further attempt to tackle the overcrowding on the cheap, flimsy bookcase begrudgingly installed by the landlord, but she kept putting it off. To be fair, it was a big job. Where others spent every spare penny they had on clothes, travel and fancy gadgets, the Wolfes were united in preferring novels and cake. In recent months, Dr. Wolfe's reduced salary had put an end to both. She'd told Kat that for once, this might be no bad thing. We could turn a negative into a positive by taking the opportunity to do something about your out-of-control book situation. Kat was shocked. Give some away, you mean? To her, books were like diaries. She only had to glance at an adventure novel she'd read years earlier, and she'd be parachuted right back to that time, with all of its emotions and dreams. Just a few, said her mum. Maybe 20 or 30. Why don't you start with the picture books? It's not as if you're going to read them again. You want me to give away The Tiger Who Came to Tea? What kind of monster are you? That's the first book you ever read to me. Her mum's face lit up. You remember? OK, maybe not that one. But how about recycling some of the mystery novels you've read a dozen times? You've dropped at least half of them in the bath. Only if you recycle some of your ancient, dusty textbooks. Her mum was scandalised. I can't part with those. They're vital, life-saving works. You're telling me you need every volume of the Merck Veterinary Manual dating back to 2009? Those things weigh nearly as much as I do. If one fell off a high shelf, it could kill someone. The books had mostly stayed, although Kat had taken a sack of picture and fairy ones to a charity shop, and her mum had moved the heavier textbooks to lower shelves. Lack of space had forced Dr. Wolfe to leave the current edition of the Merck Veterinary Manual on the top shelf, balanced on a spectacularly ugly vase, a gift from a grateful pensioner. She can't have been that grateful, Kat had remarked when the vase first came home. It's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's handmade, her mum had said reprovingly. It means more because it comes from...